things that I want you guys to pay attention to here is that when you're talking about describing a line segment, does order matter in your letters?
Yes.
Does it? What about when you're talking about angles? Does order matter in your angles?
No.
Does it?
No.
Only one thing matters. The vertex has to be in the
Middle.
But when you're talking about the triangles, all the parts have to match up right. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to start out. I know I told you these are pretty simple without a picture, but I'm going to go ahead and draw this one so that you guys see how much easier it just makes it. So I'm just sketching in the triangles here. And so when I look at KM up here, I can see that it goes with AC. Here, it's very obvious that it's AC, right? What about CY? Who did CY go with?
MP.
MP or PM? Doesn't matter there. We're just talking about a line segment. You with me? What about PK? YA or AY. Very good. What about angle Y?
Angle P.
Angle P. What about angle K? Oops, sorry.
Angle A.
Angle A. What about angle ACY? What angle are they actually talking about? No, they're talking about angle. Which angle are they actually talking about? Angle C. That middle on the angles names the angle, right? Tells you where the point is. Do you agree? Tells you where the vertex is. So I've got ACY. That's talking about this angle right here. And so who does that angle match up to?
KMP.
Or PMK or who? Or who? Angle M. Just that simple. They were talking about angle C. I could answer very simply with angle M. You could have named it any way you wanted to as long as who was in the middle.
M.
That's it. Any one of those works, right? But on the triangle, it's not that way. On the triangle, who has to match up to M?
Okay. C.
C. Who has to match up to P?
Y.
And who has to match up to K?
A.
So this was triangle CYA. See ya. Right?
CIA tomorrow at 7:30.
Oh, nice spin there, Kenya. That was good. Good timing. All right. What about triangle YAC?
PKM.
PKM. Everybody agree? Very good. All right. Let's look at another example then. We're going to start getting in with some measurements, and then we'll get in with some algebra. And notice what's happening to my congruent statements. I'm no longer writing congruent. I'm writing what?
Equal.
Equals. because now I'm going to talk about the measures. How I can use that corresponding parts or congruent to find measure. So in order to identify what goes with what and what measures equal what, I'm going to start out by labeling all the things I know. They gave me the picture, but not everything is labeled. So I'm going to start out noting that I've got these equal measures here. And so if this one's 27 feet, what is this one going to be?
27 feet.
Does everybody agree? So what kind of triangle is this? So what do I know about G and J? What do I know about G and J if this is an isosceles triangle?
It means that they're the same degree.
They're congruent. If the two sides are congruent, then the two base angles are congruent, right? That was yesterday. Make sure you've watched those videos if you have not. Huh? Oh, really? Oh, nice. All right. So those are things we know. I don't really know a whole lot. Oh, no. I don't know a whole lot here. But I do have this congruent statement up here, and that's going to help me out a little bit. Because G and J are congruent, what two angles are going to be congruent to them over here?
And Z.
X and Z. And they're going to have just one marking, right? Because G and J are congruent. Do you agree so far?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What about sides over here? If GH and HJ are congruent and they're 27 feet, who over here matches up?
X, Y.
XY and ZY, right? So those are both the 27 feet also. Agree? Okay. What about XZ? Who matches up to XZ? GJ. So I'm going to put two markings on those. So I know that that's different than the one marking ones, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's see how that helped us out. I know that GJ was the two marking. Who matched up to it?
18 feet.
18 feet.
That's cool.
XY had the one marking. So one marking was how long? 27 feet. And ZY also has the one marking, so it is also 27 feet. Does everybody agree so far?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now let's talk about these angle measures. Oh, I didn't match up my angle measures. I guess I better do that. Oh, I did these two. But who matched up to Y? H. So I could do 2 there and 2 there. So what does that mean for angle H as far as degree measure goes?
38.
38. By the way, that degree is super, super tiny. If yours is big like a 0, you're going to start getting things wrong because I can't tell the difference between 38 degrees and 380. It's an itty bitty dot, just about, right? Make sure it's featured that way. All right, but how am I going to find out the measure of angles Z and J?
Subtract 38 from 180.
And divided by 2.
Yep, 180 minus the 38 and divide it by 2 because that's going to give me these two angles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to give me
Those.
these two angles. So 180 minus 38 divided by 2 is 71. So Z and J are both
71.
71 degrees.
We learned everything else yesterday.
Okay, questions? So we've looked at congruent parts. We've looked at congruent or equal measures, right? Now let's see how they might throw in some algebra with that. Let's start out by labeling everything. So give me just a minute. It's really important on drawings to make sure you mark the things that you know.
So 3Z.
3Z plus 14, yes. We're going to identify X, Y, and Z here. And while we're looking at the triangles, there's no markings to say that there are congruent pieces on the actual triangles themselves, right?
Right.
But they gave me this congruent statement. I'm not dealing with any angles, so I don't need to mark any angles, but I do need to mark the sides so I know what goes together. So I'm going to start with UV congruent to TS, right? UV goes with TS. So I'm going to give them one marking. Make sense? UV with TS. I gave them one marking. Now I'm going to give VW and who? And SR. VW, I'm going to give two markings to, and SR, I'm going to give two markings to. And lastly, I've got the UW, which goes with who? TR. So I'm going to give them three markings. So if I know that these parts are congruent, what does that mean about their measures?
They're also the
They're
same.
equal, right? So the two one marking ones, I could set equal to each
Yes.
other. So I have 12x minus 7 equal to who? 53. So now I just have a two-step equation. I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I get 12x equal to 60. And when I divide by 12, I get x equal to 5. So there's one answer. All right, who's my second one?
5y minus 33 equals 57.
Okay, 5y. Does everybody agree with him? Minus 33 equal to 57. So again, a two-step equation. I'm going to add 33. I get 5y equal to 90. I divide by 5, and y is equal to? No.
Oh, no,
18.
it's 18.
18?
18.
Yep. You good, Jared?
Yeah, I thought it was 6.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so I've got y equal to 18. All right, so what's my last setup here? 3z plus 14 equals what? 50. Good. So now again, a two-step equation. So I'm going to say minus 14. So 3z equals 36. And when I divide by 3, I get z equal to 12. Now, these two problems gave me the pictures. But if they start writing it out in sentence form, what should I be doing?
Drawing the picture.
And doing what to it?
Labeling it.
Label it, guys. Label it. I can't tell you enough. It will benefit you greatly if you will get in that habit. Any questions?
Can we do a written example?